Hello, thanks for tuning in, or catching the VOD if you're watching this live stream archive. I'm sorry to say that this is not more Pokemon AI content, but hopefully it is the next best thing. This is in fact Game Builder Garage, the latest release from Nintendo on the Nintendo Switch. If y'all have not kept up to date on what the hell this is, it's basically a platform, if you want to call it that, for creating games on the Nintendo Switch. So it gives you basically a game engine and this, light programming environment, this node-based thing. People have compared it to WarioWare DIY. You're probably going to see me compare it quite often to Dreams, the media molecule thing on PS4, which offers a similar tool set. And I have some videos and live stream archives on my channel that go into the details on Dreams as well, if anyone's curious about that. But also, really, this is just an extension of the, what's it called? The Toy-Con Garage mode in the Labo sets. So the first three Labo sets all had a very basic Toy-Con Garage mode. But then when the VR set came out, they enhanced it quite a bit. You could actually create fully fledged 3D games in VR and wire up logic and stuff in the Garage mode. And actually, I had been meaning to do a live stream or video or something about that mode in the Toy-Con and the Labo VR set for a while now. Because I feel like it's something that just a lot of people don't know about. It's like, who the hell bought the Labo sets? I did. I bought all the Labo sets. But as it turns out, I never actually finished the VR Labo set. I got like halfway through it and then just never picked it back up. So I've never actually explored that mode in Labo VR. But suffice to say that this is a standalone product. You can get it on the eShop for $30. And it's really just an extension of what was there in the Labo kit. But without VR this time. No VR support. But what it does add is mouse support. Revolutionary, isn't that? A Nintendo Switch game you can play with your mouse. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine if you could do Mario Maker, say, with a mouse. That would be splendid. Anyway, we'll get to the meat of this presentation in a bit, which is the programming puzzles. But first, just to give an idea of what Game Builder Garage is and what it can do and how it compares to some games you might compare it to, like WarioWare DIY or Dreams. Let's pop over here into free programming mode, and I can show you, let's say, one of the games that you make as part of the tutorials, because that's one of the big draws of this game, is that they have these nice guided tutorials. So this is On a Roll. It is a very simple marble rolling game where I am currently tilting my Nintendo Switch Pro controller to move this ball around. And you see we have these rings here that act sort of as traps. They teleport me back to the start. And I can collect all of these apples one at a time. Not that difficult. Then I get some fanfare, and the game restarts. And that's the game. And so if I bop over here, we can see behind the scenes basically all the code that's making this game actually happen. And it's through these cute little characters called NOTy. You might see more if you do the tutorial, but they do like to personify all of these characters. For example, if we go into the manual here real quick, you can see all the different NOTy have a little line to give them just a little bit of personality. And they talk a lot too when you're doing the tutorials. So it's very cute. It's an incredibly cute game. But yeah, you see there are different NOTys for different things. For example, all these here. I learned this tricky. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Oh, maybe it's because this is in not edit mode. Oh, no, okay. I don't know how someone said you can right-click, double right-click and drag to do a box select, but that doesn't seem to work. But you can do that. Anyway, some of these you just see create boxes on the screens. But others are more logic-oriented. Like you see we have a counter that counts up every time an apple is destroyed. We have this comparator that's comparing between 5 and the number of apples destroyed, and then that triggers these effects. So, very basic node-based programming things. Though, of course, anytime you open things up to programming like this, you know, that just opens a world of possibilities. So the one game I've made in this is called, let's see, where is it? If I filter, Floppy Birb. So this is going to be a little tricky to play. Jeez. It's as difficult as the same shitty hitboxes that you might have come to expect from Flappy Bird. So this was the project I put together. The day the game came out, I did the first tutorial, which is the only one you're required to do, and then steadfastly refused to view any other tutorials, and just tried to see if I could put together a semi-competent Flappy Bird clone. Obviously, I wasn't really going for the visual appeal here. You can find online some people have made Flappy Bird clones that do the sprite work as well, because you can create sprites. So people have like the right bird sprite and pipes and even the backgrounds and stuff. I was much more focused on making the physics and the game feel very authentic and adding a good amount of juice. So for example, this game supports HD rumble, Floppy Bird does. Every time you press the button, you get a little shake. When you get a point, you get a slightly different shake. And of course, when you crash, you get a much more substantial rumble, an HD rumble. And as you saw in the other thing, the games also support motion controls, and they even support the IR camera in the right Joy-Con. So you can even recreate some of the things that you could do in Labo using this toolkit. And the code, you can see the code for this appreciably more complex game is likewise more complex. Again, I wrote all of this having not done any of the tutorials. So definitely some bad practices in here. Let's just ignore the giant stack of calculators. I definitely know a better way of... Let's just not even look at those. I definitely know better ways of doing what I was trying to do there. And you can see anytime, you know, you have a node-based editor, you're going to have these weird things. We just have lines going back and forth. I like in Dreams where it curves the lines. I think that's a nice look, but... Nope, here we just have perfectly straight lines. And you can see here there's some logic going on. Oh yeah, this is the logic that moves the pipes. Fun thing we can do here is if I zoom out the game screen a bit, we can sort of peek behind the scenes and see how this game ticks. And we can also start to appreciate some of the limitations of the engine. I just want to keep playing it. I can't talk and play at the same time. You know, Dreams was really designed to be like a fully featured engine for making like real ass games that you could like conceivably sell if they weren't, you know, trapped inside another PS4 game. This Game Builder Garage is very much designed to be an educational tool. In fact, this might be a mistake, but if I pop over to the eShop, let me see if I can even find it in a reasonable amount of time. We can see the description, how they're marketing this game. Hopefully it's here on the front page. No, I don't need Among Us. There we go. Programming made fun with the help from the minds at Nintendo. But then you read the description, it's like, kids can learn how to make their own games with guided lessons from Nintendo, blah blah blah. Learn the basics of visual game programming. Play through the interactive lessons. Kids will learn the basics, blah blah blah. After completing each lesson, kids will test their knowledge. The Nodons have distinct personalities, switch systems many features, exchange codes and download games from friends. So you can see, just based off how much of this advertising copy is devoted to like, hey, this is an educational tool for kids. It's like trying to sell it to parents as this educational software, rather than Dreams, which is like, hey, you can actually like make real ass games with this. You can see they're going a pretty different direction, and that sort of manifests in some of the limitations of the engine. So probably the most pressing you can see right here is you have a limit on the number of Nodon that you're allowed to have in a particular scene, which is 512, and then you can have up to 1024 connections. So you can definitely make some pretty legit games within that scope. Like, that is still a very large number. But you can see here, even just making basic-ass Flappy Bird, I'm already a fifth of the way there to the limit. And I was thinking one of my goals, or one of my aspirations, I should say, for Game Builder Garage was to try to make a Tetris, like a faithful Tetris clone. Like, obviously, you can always half-ass anything. But I wanted to try to make, real-ass Tetris that, like, plays and feels like actual Tetris. And a big problem with, like, it's certainly possible. It's Turing complete, like, anything's possible. But just with the limitation of 512 Nodon, you have to think about the well in Tetris is like 10 by 20. I mean, really it's 10 by 40, but the visible part is like 10 by 20 or 22 or whatever. And that right there, that's already 200 Nodon. Like, you've blown a big part of your budget just even displaying the Tetris grid, never mind implementing any sort of logic or anything. And another big limitation is, so they have all these different Nodon, and they teach you about all of them during the tutorials. The manual explains all of them. You can see they have all these different logic things. It's pretty complete in terms of logic. They have square root, thankfully. They didn't necessarily have to include square root, but they were kind enough to include square root. They have sine and cosine, but they've hidden it under this option called angle to position. So you have to really know what sine and cosine mean if you want to use them. They're hidden here. They have arctan 2, again, hidden under some other name. They have comparators. They also have greater than or equals if you go into the options. They have and not, and that's all you need. You can make an AND gate, and then you can make anything with and not. And of course, you have multiply as well for like making what's it called, like latches. You have flags, so you can make Boolean variables, and then you can kind of sort of implement actual like numeric variables using counters. It's not immediately obvious that you can do that, but you can in fact. That would have made this code a lot simpler if I had known that. But you can, in fact, just pass a value into the CountUp function of a counter to store it in the counter. Took me so long to figure that out. And yeah, they have like random, so you can do random events. They have timers. There's just like output things. That's not much. And then objects, of course. So they have some of these prefab objects, like a person, who's just like a 3D character controller. And then they have like boxes and cylinders and stuff that you can combine to make more complex objects. And then they have like, say, tuna, which is a tuna that just has full-on physics and everything. Let me undo. There we go. Get rid of all my changes here. And some of those objects are sensors like this. So like a touch sensor. That's not the touchscreen, although it does support the touchscreen. But it's like basically checking for collision. You can say you like get something's x and y, XYZ coordinates. You can get speed, acceleration, all that good stuff. You can connect objects to others. And it's actually, I think, easier to do than in Dreams. If you want to just input an XYZ and have an object move to that location, you can just use a free slide connector. It took me a while to figure out how to do that, but compared to Dreams, it's a lot more possible. You can like teleport, all these different things. But the only way to create new objects, like at runtime, is using this launch object Nodon. And if you go into the settings for that, you see you can make boxes, cylinders, and spheres. That's it. So like, you imagine like the sensible way to implement Flappy Bird, right, would be to create this pipe structure as like an object, as like a prefab or something if we're talking Unity terms, and then just instantiate that over and over again. Game Builder Garage doesn't give you any way to instantiate complex objects like that. You only get the basic ones. So we're kind of forced to recycle objects like that. So yeah, that's just like one of the major limitations there. Someone in the chat asks what input method I'm using. I am using a USB mouse, as you can see by the fact that I have a cursor. This game also supports the touchscreen. I think I actually prefer the touchscreen to the mouse, but it's very nice that they let you use the mouse. If you don't have a mouse, you can do gyro controls. I would demonstrate them, but they actually don't let you use them when the mouse is connected. And if all else fails, you can just use the left stick and move a cursor around, but that's awful. You would never want to do that. Anyway, so those are some of the limitations of Game Builder Garage. And, you know, on the one hand, limitations always, like, lead to creativity and, like, the problem solving. Oh, whoops, I left that thing there. Let me delete that. It actually supports mouse 4 and mouse 5, the extra mouse buttons. You can use them for undo and redo, which I was not expecting that to work, but it does. Yeah, so like limitations lead to creativity, but you know, they are still limitations, and I think some of the limitations here are going to be pretty restrictive. One of the other major limitations is, you know, there is no game sharing hub or anything like there is in Mario Maker or in Dreams. If you want to play someone else's game, you have to enter a code into a text box. You got to type this 10-digit code into a text box. And in fact, if anyone wants to play my Floppy Birb game, here's... Nope, that's not it. I want to see my shared games. That's it. I already shared it. Here it is. Here is the game ID for Floppy Birb. You can check the VOD later. It's also in my Twitter. If you would like to play Floppy Birb for yourself. Again, don't look in the code. I made this day one before I had done any of the tutorials. Oh, Smash Highlights asks what's going on with the adding. That's the part of the code that I specifically told you not to look at. There's a much better way of doing that. But I guess I can talk about it. So that's this giant stack of calculators here. So I was having trouble trying to get the actual hopping mechanic, like the jumping mechanic for the bird to work right. So you have these, where is it? Yeah, you have like moving boxes, right? Where you can feed in an acceleration or a speed value, and that will, you know, move the box, however you specify. But then it's still an object that's like affected by gravity, by the physics engine. And that's how I wanted to do it, is just, you know, attach the bird to an invisible box that's falling from gravity, and then you feed it some value to have it move up for like an impulse momentarily, and then have it fall back down again. But when I tried implementing it like that, the bird was not traveling in a parabola. The movement was just super janky, and I couldn't figure it out. So ultimately what I ended up doing, again, the code here is a total mess. Don't try reading it. I ended up just implementing gravity myself. I did everything using like a slide connector, which lets you just freely specify an object's position. And you can see that's just like counting down. And then I think I can actually do it in the editor. Yeah, every time I press A, you can see it goes up for a bit and then comes back down. So that was all implemented manually. But I couldn't figure out how to like save a variable, the variable being the bird's position. I tried using originally just a location sensor. It's like, okay, if I was doing this in Unity, right, I would do like bird.transform plus equals whatever. But this was just causing a ton of headaches. It was like there's this weird delay or not a delay or just some issue. I couldn't remember the specifics. But I just couldn't get that to work. So I finally was like, okay, I just need to implement a variable. And you know, the simple way you might think to implement a variable, I forget exactly what I was doing. It was just like if you wire up a calculator to itself, adding 0. You know, it's just adding 0. So that's, you feed some value into this and it'll just be a loop forever. And you know, that's kind of like how like NAND flip-flops are implemented in logic circuits. Anyway, I tried doing that. Long story short, the game updates too fast, I believe was the problem I was having. Like this will update more than once per frame. It'll update like 16 times per frame. And again, I forget the specifics. I don't even know if I ever fully understood the specifics, but that was causing issues. Ultimately, this is acting as a buffer. you can see there are 16 calculators in a row. It takes the game 1 frame to process 16 nodes, and so this just ends up being like a 1 frame buffer. Again, the proper way to do that, as it turns out, is using, where are they? Counter. Just use a counter, and you can add values and subtract values from the counter. This is literally exactly what I want, and it's just a single node on. But having not done the tutorials, I did not realize the counters had that functionality. Anyway. What was I gonna show? Right, I just wanted to, like, before we get into the actual meat of what I'm here for, I just wanted to show off, like, some of the other things people have made. So, like, here's one of the games that you make as part of the tutorial. This is actually the last game you make in the tutorial. It's a full-on 3D platformer with camera controls and physics and everything. And this is, one of the few times... The tutorials are, like, very structured. They're very much like, click this thing, drag it here, you know, set this value to this. This is the one part in the game where they actually give... In the tutorials, rather, where they actually give you some creative control. And it's like, okay, finish the level however you want. So I added this little challenging jumping section here. I had a dynamic soundtrack. You can see when the character walks. The guitar picks up, which is cute. I like that. And overall, I just made it way more challenging than it should be. It's not actually that hard. Like, they gave this thing a 10-second timer. I was like, no, that's easy mode. We have a 5-second timer. Run, little guy. And then this alien here, he's a real asshole. He'll just shoot balls at you. Those will kill you. And then he follows you back and forth. And that's what they had you do in the tutorial. Oh, shit. Now I'm gonna have to walk all the way back. This is what I get for trying to explain and play. It's not actually that fun of a game. That's the secret with all these things, like WarioWare DIY, Dreams, anything where you're making your own games, is they're never actually fun. It's actually really hard to make a fun game. And that's kind of the magic of Mario Maker, is like, even if you're making a shitty game, it's still fun to play because it's still Mario. Anyway. So this little asshole will continually shoot at you, but then he also turns to keep shooting at you even after you pass him. And then you have this awful spinning thing that's like kicking the balls all around, and you have to like land on this moving platform, which I successfully did. And then you have these magnets here that I've created that'll push you around onto a tilting platform. It's not actually that difficult. And then you get to the end. And that's that thing. And you can see the logic for that. The logic for the alien, that took a while to figure out how to get that thing to rotate right. There's the logic for like the disappearing bridge and everything. There's like the spinning thing. And there's all the logic for the character itself. And the dynamic music. Another cool game you make in the tutorial, probably the coolest game you make as part of the tutorials, is this thing here. Thrill Racer. It's just a very basic racing game. You just try to race to the exit. Oops, wrong button. But you'll notice I have an opponent, and the opponent is actually steering of its own volition. So yeah, like as part of the tutorial, you actually have to create an AI for the enemy racer. It's entirely AI controlled, and it navigates the race course on its own. Which again, like if anyone's taken a robotics class, you've probably made like a robot that follows a line. You know, it's not a very difficult thing to program, but it's very cool. You're making a self-driving car in this dumb like node-based. I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. Keep grabbing my computer's mouse instead of the Switch mouse. Yeah, this is the AI right here. These like 5 node on, but still very cool that you can even do that. Yeah, looking at the code, this thing is very simple. Anyway, so those are like the games you make as part of the tutorial. There's a few others, and then I just like downloaded a few others as well. This one people really like, but it requires Joy-Cons, so I can't really play it. But I just downloaded like this random thing. There's a website people have put together to share some of their creations. Use A to poop out a bomb, and you poop out a bomb, and then I think yep, it just explodes after a bit. And this is just like a basic 3D platformer, but with that extra little mechanic of you can poop out bombs. And yeah, you can like blow up these walls. Whoops, if I would put the bomb in the correct place. Poop out a bomb again. Oh jeez, the camera kind of sucks. And then like here's an object you can push. So you see the tool set is robust enough to make like real games. And even this pretty substantial game, you can see, only uses 121 nodons. So if you're making like basic things that the game expects you to make, in other words, not Tetris, you know, the budget is pretty generous. Origami with Rami asks, should I buy this game? And I'd say, yeah, absolutely. It is $30, which is unusually generous for Nintendo, to make something that affordable. And like, I think it's worth it for the tutorials alone. Like, I don't know if you've played the Labo kits and done the, like, whatever they're called. Oh, what's it called? Like, the Learn mode in Labo. But there's just, like, so much personality and wit and charm in the tutorials alone. Like, if you're a fan of, you know, Nintendo Treehouse writing, you know, there's a hell of a lot of that in this game. Yeah, this thing doesn't actually control very well, but visually, it's got quite a look to it. And, you know, my ultimate dream for this game, of course, would be if Nintendo continued to iterate on it and, like, release new features and stuff. I just really want the ability to be able to instantiate objects. I guess I can show this thing. I was, like, trying to make a rhythm game. It sucks. It's terrible. That was always a problem with Dreams, is the game only ran, or the logic in Dreams only ran at 30 hertz. So you couldn't really make anything that required, like, explicit timing like a rhythm game in Dreams. Because Game Builder Garage runs at 60, and then the nodons tick, I think, 16 times a second. I figured, you know, if you just did a basic-ass thing where it's like, you check for collision when you press the button, like, that would be good enough to make a rhythm game. But as I don't know if you can really tell without playing it, but this sucks. This is horrible. The timing is, like, incredibly inconsistent, and it's, like, really hard to even just get music to play. You know, there's no music editor or anything. Like, WarioWare DIY had a music editor, Dreams, a music editor is a big part of it. This game does not have a music editor. It's like a preset list of tracks. But then you can import nodons that play notes, and then you can connect those to timers, and you can, like, control the pitch. So you can make music in this tool the same way you can make music in Mario Maker by just having, like, an automatic Mario chorus that, you know. So rhythm game, probably possible, but I put that one on the back burner for now. Again, still my ultimate aspiration here is Tetris, but we'll see. Anyway, that's the free programming mode. But the secret, what do I want to say? The secret, like, cool feature of this game is, you know, they have these tutorials that I was showing you the results of before. Like, yeah, so, like, here's the tutorial for On a Roll. And it literally guides you through. It's like, click here, drag this here. And, you know, it's very cute, very charming. And then if you need extra help, they have this guide that has even more fun and charming writing. You can see I haven't gone through these at all. Don't really need them. But then, every time you complete a lesson, you get one of these checkpoints, which are basically little programming puzzles, where here I can just launch into an incredibly simple one. I think it's going to tutorialize it a bit. Yeah, oh yeah, she's going to talk to me for a bit. So usually the goal in every puzzle is to get the person to the apple, or get the apple to the person. And they limit the amount of things that you can actually do in the editor. So you see, like, the apple's over here, I can't just... Yeah, see, I can't move it. The only thing I can do for this tutorial is connect the stick to the person. And boop. Oh no, but the person fell off the thing because the stick is still connected to forward back, so I have to delete that connection. And now the stick controls the left and right movement. Puzzle solved. So that's the first puzzle. And, you know, there are 5 of those every time you complete one of the tutorial chapters. But then the secret cool thing is once you complete the last tutorial, you unlock the extra checkpoint, which contains 50 puzzles. And I've been told that some of these puzzles are actually a little tricky. So that's intriguing to me. I love programming puzzles. You know, I did that big stream for 7 Billion Humans. That game is fantastic. WarioWare DIY had a similar puzzle mode where it was like, here's an incomplete game. What do you need to wire up to make the game functional? And so that's basically what I'm hoping out from. And those are like really fun. The annoying thing, of course, is that you have to go through all of the tutorials to unlock that. The first tutorial is the only required tutorial to unlock free programming mode. But you can see these tutorials, they're like 40 minutes long, 50 minutes long, 70 minutes long, 80 minutes long, 80 minutes long, 60 minutes long, 90 minutes long. And you have to go through all of those. There's no skipping them. You have to actually like click. They're interactive tutorials. You can't just like fast forward the text. And again, tutorials are fun. They're worth doing. But if you really just want to buy this game for the sake of playing the programming puzzles, which I could see a lot of people doing, you are going to have to sit through a lot of tutorials first. But if you don't want to sit through tutorials, you can just watch me do it instead. So yes, we finally reached that point. That is what this stream is about. Solving these puzzles. And I'm probably going to stream for like an hour and a half, I don't know. See how many of these we can get through. Let's start. High Wire Act. Okay, so I always like to see, like, do I have any controls to start out with? And yep, I am allowed to fall off that block. And then we can hop into the programming interface and see what we have here. Okay, so we have left and right wired up to left and right, button wired up to jump. And you can see some of these nodons have little thought bubbles above them. And so those are the nodon that you're actually allowed to interact with. And so you can see here we have this box that has the apple on it. We have the string connector, and then we have this other box. So I'm thinking what the solution here is to wire up the box to the string, wire up the other box to the string, and then let's see what happens there. I don't know what I was expecting. Okay. But, so the problem is, like, we've connected these boxes with the string, but then let's put this box, like, way up here. So I bet if we look into the settings, yeah, we can change where the connection point is. So if we connect them on the side instead, what does that look like? Okay. Can I walk on the string? You can walk on the string. Oh, that's cute. Beautiful. And so the fun thing about that is it didn't actually... You know, again, these are the bonus puzzles. They don't actually teach you about the string connector in the tutorials. So you just got to figure that out. Fortunately, I've been messing around in the free programming mode for a while now. Non-Newtonian apple. I bought a new chair. Because I was tired of my dumb gaming chair that I hate. But I hate this new chair even more. Yeah, the connectors are very confusing. It took me a while to figure out how the connectors work. It's not super intuitive. Okay, I want this apple. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so the person can just move left and right. No hidden abilities there. I bet we can change the length of the string. Yep. Pretty simple. Oh, there it goes. No, it's too long. I couldn't quite get to it. So yeah, some of these are going to be like really simple like this, but I hear some of them get reasonably challenging. There we go. Okay, a light in the dark. Bet this is going to be about like the... Oh, hello. About the lighting system. Another thing they don't teach you about in the main tutorials. Okay. Oh, so we have like a bunch of boxes here that we can't see. We have the person. We can move them around freely with the stick. Oh, we can go into overhead view as well. Yes. And then we have this light here. We go into the light settings. We can see the light exists in the world. So effects can either be at the camera level or they can exist like in world space. And this is a light that exists in world space. So I bet if we move this, or actually, can we just wire it up to the person? And see, it's got this constant node on feeding its trigger. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, now our person's glowing. But that doesn't really help us see anything. Can we... No, we can't do that. So what if we don't wire it up to the person? Yeah, see, the light's not very strong. That's the thing. What are we even trying to do here? Let's go back into, side view. This is side view, right? Oh wait, I thought I deleted that connection. Oh, see, now we can't see anything at all. What are we even trying to do? So we have these 3 platforms. We have the apple up here. And the apple's not movable, so it's just floating. We can't do anything about the apple. So center connects to Y positive. That's curious. Why is it 144p? It shouldn't be. Let me... Dojis. Let me double check that this is streaming at the correct... It should be streaming at 1080p. But then my capture card only actually... Oh jeez, I can hear myself. Yeah, it looks like it's streaming at the right resolution. I can edit the player. Can I? No, I can only connect things to the player. So the only logical thing I can see to do here is connect the light to the player. But that doesn't seem to actually... Ooh, connect the light to the world? No, see, it's only things that have this icon you can actually connect at all. So I want... Can I just... Oh... Can I not just get to the apple? It's like there. Can I jump high enough? Oops. What? Oh, gee. There are some puzzles like this where you have to manipulate the camera, but then you can just go through it. Like, the apple should be here, right? Like, never mind the fact that I can't see it. If I put the light on the apple, can I see the apple? Yes. Oh, is it in 3D space? The apple, like, behind us. Ah! Yes, the apple is behind us. So if I put the light here, that can, like, act as a guide. As soon as I see the light... That didn't work. I was hoping it would be like... Okay, let me put the light right here. And so, once I see the light up the person, then I know I'm at the right spot. That didn't work. I thought that would... Oh, I just went slightly too far. Okay, once more. This doesn't feel like the solution. Shouldn't I be reaching the apple now? What am I missing here? What? See, it looks like it wants you to connect the light to the person, but what does that even accomplish? It just makes the person glowy, but then you still can't see the platforms. And there doesn't seem to be much else you can actually control. Okay, there we go. I just had to get to the apple. No, screw that puzzle. That puzzle sucked. Unless there was something obvious that was missing. Secret commands. Okay, I don't seem to be able to input anything, but I bet there's... Let's see. Oh, what is this? Okay. Okay, so we have left stick controls the person. We have a teleporter. Where's the apple? Oh, the apple's down here. I need to get into the teleporter. Oh no, I need to teleport the apple, which means I need to trigger this A, which is behind this big Boolean nonsense. So, I have to trigger this flag, which means I have to trigger this flag, which means I have to trigger this flag, which means I need to press ZLAABY. ZLAABY. Brilliant. That right there, now that's like a legit, you know, decipher this big Boolean mess thing. Pinball Paradise. Oh, this is great. Oh, I was not watching. Restart, please. Okay, so we just have a bunch of apples spawning. Okay, if I press ZL, it does this left flipper. But I don't seem to have any way to trigger the right flipper. Let's see. Boy, what a name. Boy in the chat says, I'm making a platformer right now. Do you want to check it out once I'm done? Sure. If I'm still streaming. Pop the code in the chat. Can't wait for the puzzle requiring you to find non-trivial zeros at the Riemann Zeta function. Yeah. That's... Okay, so I can configure this constant... Okay, so I'm wiring into this hinge connector. So let's just see what happens if I set this to 1. And if I press the button, nothing happens. So I bet... Oh yeah, something... You can see the right flipper when I press the button. It's very slightly triggers. So it's going like 1 degree, basically. So I need to up this, like the other one. You know, they had an example there, which makes this pretty easy. But if I up this to 60, so the button nodon will be outputting a 1 when you press the button, and that's going to this calculator being multiplied by this constant, and then it's going into the degree input of this hinge connector. And you can see they have a similar setup here to make it kind of obvious. And hey, we've made a pinball game. Oh, we have to like we have to actually play pinball now. Very cute, very clever. Ta-da! I love it. That's so cute, so clever. Very few programming games are like actually fun, is the thing. Oh shit. Oh. Wait, what was this level called again? Two-pronged attack. I see. It attacked once, and then again. Okay. So the person is just constantly walking to the right, and then we have these 2 inputs that presumably do something. When the spheres are launched. So I bet we just have to make it so the person... yeah, and these are controlled by this timer. So I bet we just have to make it so the person jumps over the balls. Let's see if that works. Whoop! Whoop! Oh, that's great. That's brilliant. Yeah, because there are lots of good programming puzzle games out there. You like all the Zachtronics games and stuff. But none of them are fun. It's kind of the problem. Like, they're just not fun. This is fun. Okay, naughty not. Let's see what we have going on. Oh boy. Lots of things. Okay, so we have ball on box. We have, okay, I think all of this is just making the hammer, and then it's connected to this hinge, connected to this counter, connected to this comparison, that's connected to countdown. So we need to make this comparison true, I think. But we can't, can we? Yeah, we can delete these connectors. Can I not just... Oh, but I can't connect that. Can I... and I can't delete this connector. That would make it too easy. I was just gonna like wire the same thing up to both of them, but you can't delete this. I believe if you have 2 connections going into the same nodon, it will just add up the values on the 2 wires. Dreams actually lets you choose what happens if you have 2 connectors going to the same, or 2 wires going to the same connection. But like the UI for it is very subtle, and it like tripped me up a few times. I was like, why are these things not working the way they should? Anyway, so we have a 3 going into a not. Oh, and I can wire this up to things as well. So a 3 going into a not outputs a 0. And this is set to equals 0 equals 0. So then why is the... Oh. I deleted that wire and that solved the puzzle. I see. Okay. Helping and... any inputs here? Nope. Probably have to launch this cannon-like structure. Okay, the can... Yep, it has a launcher inside it that's being fed by this equals. So we have 2 and 5. Those are both non-zero, so the and outputs 1. And we need something to output 1 here as well. Okay, some of these puzzles definitely trickier than others. Or should I say some of the puzzles less tricky than others. Popular ports of call. Ooh, little car. Cute. Okay, do I have any input whatsoever? Nope. Okay. So we have apple, person. And you can see like the, over here, this is like the same on all of these puzzles. But they just have this object break apple, and that's wired up into this puzzle clear node on. And you actually can't create this puzzle clear node on in the editor. It only appears in these puzzles, and it's fun. If you go into the like settings for it, it's like, hint, what happens when this node on gets a signal? I don't know, what does happen? It's like, if this feels like placeholder text they forgot to change or something. I'm not entirely sure. I did see one mistake in the tutorials. It's like the tutorials are broken up into steps. There was one time something changed from one step to the next without you having actually done it. Popular ports are called, I see. Okay, so we want equals here. So we have 3 plus 2 plus 1. That's 6. My mouse movements look a little jerky. It's because I'm playing this game in the OBS window. So there's a bit of a delay there. That was not the tune at all. I was trying to sing along with the tune, but it was not. Plus or minus. Okay, we have cubes. Any interaction? Nope. Oh boy, lots of things to wire up here. Okay, so we have the person here. We have the apple here, and a teleporter. Okay, let's just see what happens if we wire this up in the way it looks like it wants us to. Where they have this inverter, you know, multiplied by -1 here, and then this absolute value here. If we just wire everything up, and then I move the stick. Dude. Wait, can this just fall? Oh no! Wait, so what is the absolute value even doing here? Can we not just wire this to this? Oh, it doesn't let you. Why doesn't it let you? Can I wire this to this? But then I can't. Oh wait, okay. See, I wanted those to be. Oh wait. Oh no, Apple, come back. Hold on. Okay, yes, if I move the stick to the left, and then back to the right. There we go. Very slowly. Any day now. Excellent. You're done with your platformer? Sure, pop the code in the chat. I'll take a look. We are a fifth of the way through these puzzles. Don't know how many I'll do. I did want this to just be a quick stream. Just to have some content on my channel in lieu of any, you know, actual content that people were asking for. You know? Oops. Okay. So I can move left and right, I can't move forward and back. We have this door in the way. And we have this sensor here looking for a person. Which I can move around, okay. So I can move that, say, on top of the door. Possibly is what it wants. I can even rotate it. I don't know what good that does. And then we have this whole contraption here with like NOT gates and stuff. Let's just see what happens when we trigger that. It shut the door? Sorry, what was happening originally? Oh, the door was shut. Okay, so what if we put it there? Whoop. Oh. Okay. Okay, I might need to actually, like, look at this logic, figure out what it's doing. Okay, so these are the two door segments. You can see they're connected to this thing here. Yeah, what is this? Yeah, this is on touch. This is triggering on touch, not while. Oh, I can change it. While touched. Okay, there we go. I think that's probably the solution. Boop. Boop. It's a cute little automatic door. How fun. Okay, Boy has popped a code in the chat. I hope your game is not garbage, but it's made in Game Builder Garage, so we can only hope for so much. Let's see. G. I don't have a keyboard connected. A bit short-sighted of me. 9 D 4 N C 4. 1. Excuse me. And 1 epic evening. Let's see what we got. If your game kills me, I'm gonna be upset. Stick to move, B to jump, right stick to move camera. Okay, but these aliens don't seem to pose much of a threat. Excellent apples. Bah. Thanks for playing. Let's see if I can get past the boss. Ta-da! Oh, I can just destroy the aliens too. I see. What a game. Yeah, if anyone else has codes, games you've made or games that are cool, that wasn't really meant to be the purpose of this stream, but might as well. I might have to go grab a keyboard if enough people post them. Let's see. G 002 053 F5 M. Toad's Quest for Cheerios. Cute. Move with the D-pad. Oh, cute. It has the Paper Mario, like, turning mechanic. Did you make this? Whoever you are. What's your name? I'm not seeing it. Little Coco. Woo. Woo. Oh, wow. This is, like, legit. Oh. The hitboxes on those spikes leave a little something to be desired. Don't know if anything can really be done about that, though. Oh, I hope I can make that. Yep. Oh, this is tight. Oh, jeez. I just want to go up there. There we go. I love this. Cheerio. Wow, like a big texture. That's cute. That's got to be like multiple textures stitched together, right? Let's see. The fun thing is, oh, it's just there. Is any game you download, you can just go poke into the code. That was always one of the really annoying things about Dreams, is like people, by default, when you share a game in Dreams, it's like closed source. Like you can't even look at the code, never mind modify it. But Game Builder Garage, you can just go poke around anyone's code that you want. I think I can reasonably figure out how this game works. Although the little, yeah, so you just have this texture connected to the person. Oh, does the game just do that? If you have a texture connected to a person, does it just do the Paper Mario thing without you having to implement anything? Oh, that makes it pretty... That's pretty neat. Very cool. Okay, let's get back to these. Material difference. Okay. So I can... Oh! I bet we're gonna have to tweak these cubes. Materials. So we have this box. Floaty? What do floaty objects do? Floaty will float upwards like a helium balloon. That's what we want. And we can't jump. So... This one we probably want to be 0 gravity. Can you walk across 0 gravity objects? I feel like you would just push it down. Oh, keep going. Ah, you do push it down, but you can still walk across it if you're fast enough. Which I was not. How many are there? There are 50 bonus puzzles after you complete the last tutorial. And that's in addition to the, like, 30... or however many you get, just as part of the progression. Ooh, fish! One step at a time. Oop. Okay. oh, okay, they just move on their own. What a contraption. Okay, we probably just have to, oh boy, lots of things going on here. Yeah, we probably just have to control how these sticks are wired up to the fish. So that means we have to, like, think about the... I'm trying to hit escape on my keyboard to back out of this. It's not going to do anything. Okay, so this fish is facing forward. So we want, like, one of its sides. I'm not sure which. So our own connection point, we want the bottom. For the fish, we want... We think about which direction the fish is facing. It's probably rotated... Oh, no, it's not rotated. So it's probably going to be X minus. Well, let's see if that worked. Yep. And that's going to do that. And then this one we want it to be on the front of the fish. So we want the Z minus. Yep, that one. And then this one we want whatever the opposite of this one was. So this was X minus, so we want X plus on this one. That should do it. There we go. We've built our little fish contraption. Can I move? Nope. Cute. Very cute. I love it. Directional delay. Ooh, look at this thing! What is this? This is very different. There's a lot going on here. Oh, even the camera is rotated. Okay. So we can wire things up to this person. There's a button Y. Oh, I can press Y. Whoop. Ah, okay. So it wants a cylinder here, it wants a cube here, and it wants a sphere somewhere. Okay, so we want to wire up the cylinder to the person. We want to wire up the sphere to the person. We want to wire up the box to the person. But they're not going to be at the right place. Yeah, see, they're all just, like, stacked on top of it. And I think we need to trigger these, like, touch sensors. Seems like what it's implying here. So we can control how these are connected. I wonder if we just set them to auto? If they are in the right place. I'm not gonna do it for all of them, because it's probably not... Yeah, see, that's not at the right place. Okay, so we want... do we want? Do we just want it to the side? Our own connection. Something like that. Other side. Doot, doot. Okay, yeah, we just wanted... I thought it was like diagonal, but... and then press the button. Boop. And then the cube we want on the other side. Cube. I forget what I did. There we go. Doot. Doot. Oh, and that one wants to be inside of us. Sphere is inside us. What is the easiest lesson? They're all equally trivial because they all tell you exactly what to click. The easiest lesson is the shortest one, which is the first. The puzzles actually have variable difficulty, but they're all pretty easy so far. Rate of 0.1%. Oh, that's cute. Is this a loot box that has a 0? I could just do this until it just happens to give us the correct... I like that it kills you too. Like actual loot boxes just killed you when you get a bad drop. I can just do this like 1,000 times. And eventually... Okay, let's look at the code, see if that's actually what's happening here. Okay, when I press punch, then we destroy the treasure chest. When you destroy the treasure chest, then we feed a random value to output node A. We compare that it is greater than 1. Oh, it'll never be greater than 1. And if it is greater than 1, then we teleport the alien? Wait, what? Wait, hold on. I'm missing something here. We output a random value, which is between... Oh, okay. It's between 0 and 1,000. I thought it was always 0 and 1. No, we output a random integer between 0 and 1,000. If it is greater than 1, then we spawn the alien. Otherwise, we spawn the apple. So we just need to tweak this value. Let's make it fair odds, shall we? Let's make it 500. Bah! Hey, I got the apple. 50-50 shot. That's a fair loot box. Newtonian apples. We had a non-Newtonian apple. And now we have Newtonian apples. Oh! So it's a tree. That's cute. No interactions here. Ooh, we have an attract object. Those are new. And we can control the apple. We can, yeah, tweak it. Let's make it movable is probably what it wants here. And then if we use the attract object, let's make it visible. We want it to attract apple, I guess. The apple not just gonna fall. Otherwise. Reduce gravity. There's no gravity. Bop. I guess we also could have had it attract the person up to the apple. Repulsion. Ooh. Oh, is this like... Oh. Okay. So we have this attract thing that attracts aliens with power 1, but if we make that -1, in fact, if we make it like -6, then it should repel aliens instead. Whoop. It's like that game in Dreams. They're like, don't hug me or whatever. Rotation stations. Ooh. We have a few different, like, rotational axes. They are not spinning correctly, though. Why do I care? Why do I care why they're spinning? What good things would happen if they were spinning correctly? Oh, I see. So if this was spinning correctly, it would bop the apple. And then, it would bop the apple down here, and then it would bop the apple. We're trying to bop the apple, is what we're getting at here. So I need to start over here. What can I actually control? I can control this thing. I just need to pick what axis I want it to spin on. I need to remember. Forward and back, so that's Z. Z, please. Bop the apple, and then X, and then Y. Okay. X. Y. Is it left or right-handed? I don't remember the difference. Here, I can't pull up a thing. X, positive, right. Y, positive, up. Z, positive, forward. I'm pretty sure. Whatever that correlates to. I just guess and check until I get the correct orientation. Anytime I'm doing something in 3D software. I'll get the apple. Forward being like towards the screen. I think that's true. Oh, hello. Photography unit. That would be left-handed. I'll believe you. Okay, this is fun. I don't see any apples or persons or anything, but very fun. Okay, we're gonna have to decipher what we're even looking at here. So we have a counter that's counting up and presumably down, and there's the slide connector connected to the alien and this box, so the alien's going up and down. Ooh, we're using advanced cameras. So the camera is pointing at the alien, which is probably not what we want. Meanwhile, over here, there's a person who has actual controls, and the person needs to navigate this here winding path, which would be quite difficult to do without a camera. But if we wire the camera up to the oh, I can't. But I can increase the field of view of the camera. In fact, I can increase the field of view of the camera all the way. And actually, if I just wire that back up again. Oh, there's the person. He's not... Camera's not quite looking at the right place, though. Okay, we can point the camera at the apple instead. Boop. There we go. In fact, I may well have made the field of view a little too high. There we go. Puzzle solved. Pointing the camera at a thing. Subspace reversal shield. Ooh. This is fun. Oh no! Okay. Alright, so we have a teleporter here. Teleporter entrance and exit. We have this. Not destroyed. So long as the alien is not destroyed. Oh, and we can also move the person. Okay, what can we control here? Rotation. I can't just control it that way. So what if I rotate you about the Z so you are no longer pointing at me? What does that do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Ah, but we can then teleport box... What is this shooting? Cylinders? Cylinders. Cylinders. And not boxes. Boop. Ah, look at that. Oh, but now I still need to get past it. Is there any way to import 3D assets? Oh, if only. This is nowhere near as complex. This is a launcher. Ah, we need to reflect it and destroy the alien. I see. You can also type in numbers, but that's more fun. Doot doot bonk. Beautiful. Whee. Yeah, no, the most you can do in terms of assets in this game is you can draw textures. So I can briefly show. If we hop into where's my garbage one? This one. Yeah, so if we hop into the editor real quick, you can pull up a texture object, and then that'll let you freely draw on this 64 by 64 grid, and you have this whole palette of colors to choose from. They actually have this fun like pressure sensing thing. You know, obviously it's not an actually pressure sensitive screen, but you can kind of estimate it with the capacitive screen. Can you use a tablet as opposed to like a mouse? I'm gonna guess no, but I will be right back to try it out. Okay, thankfully I was able to find my tablet. Okay, so if I... Okay, I've unplugged the mouse dongle. And just to see, yeah, you see that gets you a, I don't know how to recenter it. I actually don't know how to recenter it. But you see that gets you a gyro cursor if you unplug the mouse. But now if I plug in my tablet... you can see it recognizes it as a mouse. Now if I take the stylus, nothing happens. You can hear I'm pressing. Absolutely nothing is happening. Does it even register like a left click? Nope, it does not register any sort of input from the tablet. Even if I try like using it as a trackpad with my finger, it does not register at all. But you can see it does bring up the cursor, so it does detect it. But nope, no tablet support. Sorry to say. Would have been cool. Let me plug the mouse back in. There we go. So yeah, you can see you can, where was that? Yeah, you can see you can make textures like this. And then if you have like an object or something, you can wire that texture up to the object. And whoop, it just fell. Let's follow it down, shall we? And then you can see you can have an object with that specific texture that you've created. But that's it. Like, you can't create music or anything. The best you can do is you can... Whoops, not that. You can play instruments. And so that this is similar to what you could do in the Labo stuff. Is you can... Yeah, you see you can output notes. But you can only have like one note per nodon, so then you have to wire those notes up to either like button presses or timers or something. There's a cat piano at least, so that's something. You can do this. which is very fun if you then combine that with a motion tilt sensor and just... Whoops, I screwed that up. Wire tilt into pitch, and then wire a constant up to play. And then you can tilt the controller. So that's very fun, actually. Even just doing dumb little things like that is fun enough, I think, to justify spending $30 on this. I mean, that's half the price of a full-price game. You get all these fun programming puzzles. You get the you get these tutorials. You get this like pretty fully featured editor. Like, if you like messing around with dumb programming things, you're gonna have a lot of fun, I think. You know, trying different things out in this editor. Again, my ultimate aspiration is to try and somehow make Tetris in this editor. I thought about actually doing it on a stream. Like the day the game came out or something. I was just like, yeah, I'll just gonna do that forever. I was like, yeah, I'll just make a stream where I like poke around in the editor. I really need to disconnect that. Where I just poke around in the editor and try and make Tetris. By the way, you can see the like size of the workspace. It's not infinite, but it is pretty substantial. So you can make pretty good levels, decently big levels, and this does extend in 3 dimensions as well. You can see you can rotate the camera that way. Yeah, Tetris a bit hard, I think, if it's even possible. I mean, you could probably make like small Tetris, not a full-size Tetris thing. Anyway, let's continue where we left off. The mouse wheel also works as well for like scrolling through lists and zooming. So it's decent mouse support. Again, if Mario Maker had mouse support, that'd be something. Get to the touch position. Oh, hello. There's a little bit more to this problem. Try clicking somewhere with the mouse. Ah. Cute. This is the first puzzle that involves clicking things with the mouse. If you were playing handheld mode, this would be touchscreen input. And if you didn't have a mouse, you could do it either with the gyro cursor or you can like pull up. Yeah, you see, you can make it the gyro cursor even in the puzzle. You can also just use the left stick, I think. Okay. So how does that even work? So we have... Let's see. Okay, so you can get a touch position, and then they have a map, and they connect it to a free slide connector between this just random object sitting at 0, 0, and this cylinder. And so, yeah, you're able to move the thing around like that. But meanwhile, this person is always just... Okay, so we have these inputs feeding into forward, back, left, right. We have this location sensor, so we want to wire up the location sensor. Well, do we have another location sensor? So I'm thinking what it wants us to do. Okay, so we have touch position. So we want to wire this location sensor probably up to the person. And that way we can get the person's location, we have the touch location, and then we can subtract one from the other after doing this map. I think it just wants us to... So we need to map the touch positions X and Y. And that's probably the puzzle. Boop. Hey, look, this controls decently well, actually. For as simple as that is to code up. Boop, boop. Now we can play soccer. I don't think there's any reason for this soccer ball in terms of the puzzle. You could build like an RTS or something, or MOBA if you hate yourself. Just have like click movement like this. Of course, he won't actually like navigate around things at all. That's a bit out of scope. See, now I'm curious what this mapping is. Okay, so you map... Okay, yeah, so we're mapping pixels into just meters. So the... Yeah, touch position will give you something that's... It's assuming it's like a 720p screen. A star when? Could you? In 512 nodons, I bet you could implement some sort of pathfinding algorithm. Okay, this is cute. And then, yeah, the actual, like, in-game units are meters, ostensibly. Watch your step. Ooh. Okay, so I can move this thing. And then I can just fall into this hole. Can you sample objects on screen? Well, you can use, like, a... Whoops, I didn't mean to quit. You can use like a touch sensor, which is distinct from a touch screen sensor. Yeah, without a grid, it'd be a bit... Okay, okay, so those are all those little peg things. Okay, we have all these things. And our connection point auto. Okay, so we just need to fill in this gap with... Is this just a... What was this puzzle called? Watch your step. I just need to, like, build a bridge out of these things and then hope that they're connected up in such a way that they'll actually stay in place. Oh, that one did not go right. I'm not allowed to flip into 3D, though. Does it need to, like, go the other way, maybe, for some reason? If I just move it down, so it's definitely wired up. Why is... You see, it's not falling into the hole. If I put it just there... So see, the problem is, like, all of these objects are connected to each other, you see? And so no matter where you put them in the grid, like in the editor, when you get into the actual game... Oh, well, that one is, like, the parent, so it controlled the location of everything else. You can see no matter where you put them, they'll all be, like, wired up. They'll all be touching like this. But... this one has settings. This one lets you control the settings. Aha! So if we set them all to connection point auto, then theoretically, I've not had good luck with this, messing around in the editor, but theoretically they should all, like, be connected the way they are in the editor, at least in, you know, by the side that they are in the editor. There we go. Perfect fit. That is one nice thing about Game Builder Garage compared to Dreams, is, everything on the editor is on the grid. So, you know, Dreams, it's like sometimes very difficult to get things aligned properly. You have to, like, go out of your way to make sure you're building on the grid in Dreams. And if you have even just a... If you ever go slightly off the grid, then, like, everything you build from then on is just fucked. But Game Builder Garage, when you're just dragging things around, it's always going to be on the grid. So it makes it pretty easy to keep things aligned properly. But then sometimes you have issues where, like, one object will be bumping up against another and then they collide in weird ways. That does still happen. Okay. Something's happening here. We have 911. I think that... Is that, like, random? 655. 961. None of my buttons seem to do anything. We're gonna have to poke around in the code. Okay, so we have these two... see, this is just feeding some random... Why is that... Okay, so we have B and C. And then we have A. It's feeding into this counter. delete this? No. This one could be tricky. And the person we can just move. We have this destroy thing, which is wired into this and, which is, oh god. The fact that the text is like faded out for the things you can't control, like to the point that it's actually kind of difficult to read, is a little annoying. We have this comparison, which is set to equals. So we need B and C, those are these numbers, to equal. Also, we need A, which is turned on after 0.3 seconds. So actually, we just need B and C to equal each other. So C is coming from this constant, which we can also wire up to other things, potentially, like this counter. Boop. And then B is taking not A, randomize some number, feed that into B. Where's A? A is that flag. So this counter gets reset at the time that the check, or after the time of the check. And that also... I see. So the number randomizes a bunch, and then it stops. And we need them to be equal. So it's basically like, it's a 1 in 1,000 chance if we just keep re-rolling. If this ever rolls 000, then we win. And as much as I like the idea of doing that, it's like, screw the puzzle, we're just gonna do that. So I can delete this. Is there anything else? I can feed. Okay, so I can just... I'm making a safe cracker. I can just set this counter to count up by 1 until it gets... Oh yeah, that'd be funny. Like 1 in 1,000 people will just start this puzzle and there's the solution. It's not even a puzzle. That'd be hilarious, actually. Yeah, you see what we're doing here. We're just incrementing this counter. So the random number will generate some random number, and then that'll be our target. And then we've set this constant here to increment this counter, you know, like every frame. And we're just counting up until we get to the random value, and then that'll trigger the... That'll crack the safe, basically. It's a safe cracker. Oh god, it gave us a big number. At least we get to see it. Oh man, I love that so much. What a good puzzle. How clever. Swiftly, then slowly. Swiftly, then slowly. We have this number in the corner. Okay. We have this touch sensor for a person, and if the absolute value of the speed sensor of the person's X is greater than 2.5. Oh, but then later we're comparing that it's greater than 1.5. I'm a little confused. Oh, and then we also have this number object that we can wire up. There we go. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh! Okay, so if we walk too quickly, it'll break the bridge. I see. So we want to break the first one, but then we want to walk very slowly across the second bridge. Very cute. And we're almost halfway there. Question. Hey! It's a question mark, like from the Mario. You can just jump on top of it. Boop. Oh, look! It bonks! Like a question mark block does. Wow. What a puzzle. I'm gonna guess there's more to it there. Okay. Oh, jeez. What are we even looking at? Okay, so the person we can move and jump. We have box, which is connected by a slide connector to a question mark text box, which I can connect to more things for some reason. That's odd. And we have this touch sensor that's wired up to all of those things. What are you playing this on? This is the Nintendo Switch. So I want to check for person, I'm guessing is how this is going to go. It just occurred to me the colors here are a little screwed up. I don't know if that's my capture cards doing. Probably. Or if like OBS is screwing something up. Okay, does that do anything? Boop, boop, nope. Okay, so that touch sensor is connected to this teleport entrance, which is connected to the apple. The teleport exit is just kind of nowhere. Alright, can I... Okay, it's connected to this random off-screen box. It's like I connect it to this texture node, but that doesn't do anything. Visible, please. Oh, but it can launch. Huh. How do I get it? Because there's this box in the way then also. Like this doesn't do anything. Oh, wait. Is that it? Oh, whoop! Okay. I didn't think connecting it to the texture node. Oh, it's the bottom... Oh, right, this isn't a texture node. This is a text node. Very different. Because a text object is just a box that happens to display text. Okay, that's what confused me there. So we want to just make this launch considerably slower. Would this be a good way for a beginner to learn coding, you ask? I mean, you're not going to learn coding from this. Like, this is not coding. I mean, it is. But you're not going to learn, like, any practical programming language. But in terms of, like, learning basic concepts of, like, logic and, like, logical thinking and stuff, I'm sure, why not? Like, it doesn't hurt to try. It's fun. Okay, and we just made a little boop. It's gonna roll off eventually. Eventually it'll reach the edge. There we go. Hey, wait! UFO catching. Yeah, I always wonder with things like this, is like, I like going into the editor. Ooh. I'm not doing anything, it's just doing this. But I like going into the editor and seeing like, okay, what are the limitations of the nodons? Like, what can you actually do with this tool set? Like, that's the fun, like, educational value to me, is just like a thing to play around with. And you know, it's sort of like TI calculators back in the day, right? Like, it's just a thing that you have that you can write programs on. And as long as you have access to that, you know, if you're in that mindset of like, oh, I want to tinker with this thing, see what I can do with it, you know, you're going to start thinking about, okay, how can I write programs, if that makes sense. And this is definitely like a super fun playground for like, okay, what if I wire this thing up to this thing? Oh, but that's not going to work the way I want. I need an AND gate or a NOT or a multiply. But then like, does that translate into, okay, I've messed around with Game Builder Garage, now I'm going to go like learn Python. Like, that's a whole different hurdle. You know, it's not going to get you over that hurdle. It's a fun playground to play around with to, like, spark your curiosity and stuff. This tangent did not go the direction I thought. Anyway, let's look at this puzzle. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I think this is just all the logic that's controlling the UFO. Oh, but then there's one piece that's missing. God damn it. And you can see they have comments. These little comment nodons have just a little bit of text on them. Okay, but the only thing I can actually control here is I can like wire up one or more of these nodons to these flags. These are all controlled by timers. They're set to 1, 3, 2. They're not in order. Are you kidding? Oh no, they're wired up in sequence, not in parallel. Okay, so we have 1, 2, yeah. They just go in order, triggering these flags. The flags get inverted for some reason, for some of them. So we're gonna go like down, left, and up, left. Well, what are these connected to? So we have, X, Y, and A. So X and Y control the left and right and up and down of the UFO, but then this A thing, that's the actual like UFO catcher. So let's watch the UFO again. What does it do? So it starts up, it goes down, and then at that point we want to activate the thing and keep it active, I guess. But then we want to disable it there if we can. So go down. So each timer disables the previous flag. I see. Okay, so we want to activate it there. Keep activating it. Keep activating it. But then we want to not activate it. Let's see if that works. Oh, but we don't want the alien. Oh no, it's going to bring the alien to us. What's that going to do? Oh, it destroyed the apple. This is going to kill us. Oh no. How horrible. Okay, that's very cute. I love that so much. Get rid of that one. Don't pick up the alien, please. That claw. Oh, look at that. It like doesn't have enough force to actually pick it up all the way, but then it just like hovers there. Oh, that's... Bloop. There you go. Yeah, and also the fact that this gives you, again, Dreams does the same thing, but WarioWare DIY didn't. The fact that this gives you like a robust, reasonably robust physics engine to play around with. It's like, oh, what if I like make a big spinner that just like chucks balls around, or like a thing that launches cubes, and like make like a tower and launch balls at it. And then you can like start thinking about like programming as it relates to that. Lots of fun to be had. I clicked on my OBS window and now there's a weird box. Ooh. What do we have here? Oh, we're making like a moving platform, but we need to get them out of phase. Oh, I wonder if these are connected to like, I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. Yes, they're connected to sine and cosine things. So we have A. Where's A coming from? Where is A coming from? Okay, A is just coming from this counter that's going into this like sine function, which is controlling the X position of this thing. Meanwhile, what can we actually control? This constant. We have this calculator that's being offset. We need to like understand how sine and cosine work. I think I remember trigonometry. They should be offset by 90 degrees. There aren't radians here in Game Builder Garage World. We offset that by 90. Oh. Close. Is it gonna be good enough? Oh, wait, no, it's not sine and cosine. It's just sine and sine. So, 180. Boop. There we go. That should do it. Beautiful. This is actually how I did my moving platform as well in my little platformer thing. Just wired up to a sine function. With a counter. Gears to the left, gears to the right. Ooh! Cute. Nope, spinning. Spinning. Okay, so person, you just move them with the stick. We have cylinder connected to a hinge. Connected to a box. Connected to an angle sensor. It's gonna make us make a gear. Then we can take the Y and connect that to that. What's that gonna do? Whoop! Ha! Brilliant. Should have like inverted it so it's actually like a gear. 3 o'clock snack. I wonder if you could build a functional gear just like with the physics engine. Never mind like wiring up the logic for it. That was the thing in Dreams. This was actually a thing like Media Molecule showed, is they made like a working, like slot, like a toy train that like actually worked just with the physics engine by like the wheels spinning and like locking into the treads of the like tracks. And it was like they didn't have to do any logic or anything. It's just the physics engine was robust enough that you could, excuse me, you can make something with fine detail like that. Okay. Starting to get a little tired. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. Probably not going to get through all of these puzzles on stream. I want to leave some surprises, incentivize people to, buy this game for themselves. As well, I'm just trying to demonstrate that it is $30, but I have to go through like 1,000 hoops to get to the eShop. Oh, I can't even see how much it costs because I already own it. Anyway, there's a demo available. I don't know what's actually in the demo. But yeah, this thing totally worth it in my opinion. I mean, if it's between like buying this and buying Dreams, when they're both $30, Dreams obviously a much better value for your money. A much more robust tool set. And if you want to like buy this for the purpose of just playing other people's creations, like Dreams has an enormous library of like actually good games that you can just go into the menu and like search. You can type in Sonic and it'll pull up like a dozen Sonic games that people have made, some of which might actually be pretty okay. Whereas if you want to try and do something like that in Game Builder Garage, you have to like go to some third-party website that some person has put together and just like hope that there are some curated nice things and then type in a 10-digit code on your Switch. And even then, the games probably aren't going to be that good because they're limited by your nodon count and all that and all the other limitations. But if your interest is like just having a fun playground to just like play around with, wiring up some logic, playing with the physics engine, maybe making some like simple 3D platformers, or, if you want to go a little fancier and see like, oh, could I make Pac-Man? Could I make Flappy Bird? Could I implement such and such thing within the restrictions of this game? And if you like the idea of like going through the very detailed, very guided tutorials with the fun characters, the Nintendo treehouse writing that everyone knows and loves. And at the end of all that, you get these 50 fun little programming puzzles of which you've seen more than half now. But hey, still a good number left to do on your own. I can totally recommend Game Builder Garage. It's easy recommendation from me. My only sincere hope, LLVM backend for Game Builder Garage when. Oh, what was I thinking about that for recently? Oh, I forget. It wasn't Dreams. There was some other system where it's like, I bet people could write a compiler for this game. I can't remember now. Ah, shoot. It's gonna bother me until I can remember. There's some game I was playing. What, you know, it wasn't Minecraft, it wasn't 7 Billion Humans. I don't, like, people actually did it for Factorio. People actually made, like, C compilers for Factorio. I think it was some other game, I can't remember now. That's annoying me. That'd be a video project idea, right? Like, hey, I wrote a compiler that compiles C into Minecraft Redstone or something. Anyway, let's solve like 1 or 2 more puzzles here. I don't even remember what this is. Right, it's the clocks. So we probably have to get these clocks to be equal or something. Okay, so we have a sphere that's connected to these 2 boxes, and then on the other side, we have a sphere that's connected to a sphere that's connected to the 2 boxes. There is an LLVM backend for command blocks. I don't care about command blocks. Command blocks are just like already actually scripting. I care about people making things in pure redstone. Not to say that command block projects aren't cool, but it's a different sort of thing. Okay, what are we doing? I am now starting to get to the point where I don't want to think anymore. Okay, so we have these hinge connectors. Can I like, yeah, I can like break these connectors, and probably I just have to like wire these up through the hinge connector to the things, and then what happens? Whoa! I don't know why that's so funny to me. Oh, look, we've made a clock. Okay. Close. Z-axis. Z. I feel like the developers of this game have pulled a prank on me. Like, they knew that was gonna happen. That was gonna be your first instinct, is just wire up the connectors without worrying about the axis. Yeah, like, they knew that would happen. Okay, let's do 1 more. And then that'll leave, 15... I mean, 20. I can count. 20. I can do basic subtraction. 50 minus 30. And I don't know how I got 15 out of that. I was probably looking at 35. That's what happened. Yeah, 20 puzzles. That's still a good number if anyone wants to check this game out on their own. What was I doing? Right, I was solving this last puzzle. Apple delivery. Ooh, fun. Boop, boop, boop. And it just stops. What's up with that? Can I move? Yep. Not allowed there, I guess. Woo. Oh boy. Okay, probably. Okay, what does it do? It goes up, then it goes right, and then it goes up again. I'm guessing I want it to go up and then right and then down. What if like all these? Oh, it's making like the checkerboard pattern around there. I just didn't even notice that. Okay, so we have this X and this Y. Oh, wait, and a Z? Is this thing not on the same plane as me? Oh god. It's hard to tell with the overhead view. But, oh, I can't even rotate it. Okay. So we have this counter that's ticking up, we have this comparator and this other counter that's ticking up, and then we have this constant and this comparator, and this other counter that's ticking up. Okay, so then this will trigger, and then like 1 second later this will trigger, and then 1 second later this will trigger. And those get fed into Z. Oh, Z is this way. Wait, so was there... Oh, it was just X and Z. I was misreading that. Okay, so Z, and then X, and then Z. So I just need to adjust the range on this map NOTon, probably. So it needs to go up like twice as much, and then right like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe times as much, and then it needs to go down. So 2. I'm guessing here. I could probably like actually count. But 6, maybe 7. And then you need to go down like 2 or 3, but also backwards. Go. Ah! That's not right. Yeah, wait, these aren't... Oh, you can't go backwards. Right, that's just gonna break it. Oh! Okay, more than that. I don't know quite what to do at the end. We'll see when we get there. Whoop, whoop. Okay, you need to go one more. Probably. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then it goes, tries to go up again. So we're mapping 0 to 60. I want 60. Be like, hold on, make that 3 and then reverse. Okay, now I'm actually confused. I can't adjust anything other than this map. Because this isn't controlling the speed, it's controlling like the actual Z position. She's counting from 0 to 60. It starts at 0. But like it's always active. Even before we actually get to this part of the... Oh, it doesn't let me multi-select here, that's annoying. Even before we actually get to this part of the code, you know, this map is still on. You know, it's still mapping the 0 coming out of this counter. Oh, and then it's adding it to this. Because it's a bit hidden here, because they're using these, whatever these are called. Wormholes. But they're both feeding into the same connector, so I think they're getting added. Which means, actually, this needs to start at 0 and then go to, like, negative. And then not be reversed. Or actually do be reversed. That ought to do it. A little too far, but it still works. Ah, there we go. That's fun. I love this. And then, yeah, there's 20 more of these. Beyond the Wall, Shoot 'em Up Sensation, Post-Screen Subspace, Apple Evacuation. Oh, Excavation, excuse me. Evacuation would be more fun, though. Fluffy Friend. Ooh, I want to see that one. You're going to have to buy the game yourself to see it, though. Ha ha ha. Fireworks Show, Power Punch, Size are too smaller, I'm left, you're down below, Shoot, 10-second challenge, Phantom Apple, Haunted House, Logical Labyrinth. Now that sounds fun. Who wouldn't want to do a logical labyrinth? The barriers to success are all in your mind. Run the Gimmick Gauntlet. I bet that's going to be like a 3D platformer thing, like in the tutorials. So they always called the traps like gimmicks. Stepping across hard. Ooh, I like the sound of that. I like it when there's just puzzle, but harder. Get the apple. That's like the first one. And Perplexing Paradox. Very cool shit. Game Builder Garage. I can definitely wholeheartedly recommend. Thank you if you've stuck around this long. I was not expecting this to be a 2-hour stream. We just hit the 2-hour mark. But whether you were watching live or you're watching the archive, thanks. I'm sure if you are the sort of person who has been watching me for this long, you're probably waiting for more actual video content. I promise I am working on more Pokemon stuff. I'm working on that follow-up Pokemon Red video. I'm working on it so incredibly slowly, though. Like, you see on Twitter or whatever, sometimes YouTubers will talk about like how slow their production cycle is. I used to be able to make videos quickly, like those Mario, the Mario Odyssey videos, the first two, the like jump rope bot and the volley bot. I made those videos, like no joke, in one day. They each took like a day, writing the script, recording, editing, uploading, like an afternoon, really. But some combination of like losing motivation and just like trying extra hard to like do new things and stuff. Somehow that afternoon of video editing has stretched out into like multiple months of on and off. Oh, I guess I can write a little bit of the script today. Oh, I wrote a paragraph. That's pretty good. I'll write another maybe 3 days from now. That's what my life is like now. It's just constantly not being productive. Not that I'm a full-time YouTuber or anything, but anyway, someday, eventually, I will release more actual YouTube content. So look forward to that. If you're not subscribed already somehow, get on that. You can follow me on Twitter at PieManRules. I guess I can pop a link in the description. This has been Game Builder Garage, $30 on the Nintendo eShop. Hope you enjoyed. See you later. How do I end this stream? What do I want to do? I want to fade to studio mode. I want to... Let's make it a nice... is that a what am I doing? Fade to black. Yeah! There it goes. It's working.